Well, I'm up here on opening day, opening season for all bucks, opening day, so it's a little hectic up here. You can hear four-wheelers and ATVs and trucks all over the mountains. It's now 7 o'clock. We were up here at 6:30 and waiting for the sun to peek up over, and hopefully a deer pokes up over this beautiful ravine. So, pretty good vantage point. It's a fairly fresh, clear cut, probably only 8 months to a year old, so the trees and the brush aren't too high. But we've been coming up here. This is my third year in a row coming up to Princeton, and very low productivity, none, zero. So it's hard to be optimistic about actually seeing an animal that we can take down up here. But it is a good way to disconnect. There's no Wi-Fi up here. There's no cell service. We're up here for a good 5 days. All the food is prepared for us by a good friend of mine, Mike, and it's a good time to unplug and just to laugh around the fire and not have a million distractions. You know, it's very simple: eat, drink, hunt, make fire. Life is very, very complicated down in the big smoke in the big city. It's extra strange this year for me because we just listed our home in Vancouver, and the open house is this weekend. So I'm going to come off this mountain on Monday and find out whether we had any interest. There's a lot of emotions been going on in me and my family for sure. A lot of tears, wondering if we're making the right decision. It's kind of like when you find your wife or the woman that you're with, you realize that it's great, but there's also probably 1,000 other compatible people for you in the world, but that's the one that is in front of you, and that's the one that, you know, is gonna, it works, right? But, you know, we found a house to move to, but we didn't. Wow, there's a truck like really close to me. But we didn't look super, super hard, and we found this home, and kind of going all in on it. And you kind of keep thinking to yourself, maybe there was a better one, maybe we should have looked harder, maybe, you know, life is full of those types of things, right? The way you kind of like, well, how did I end up in Vancouver? I could have been in this place or that place, and it's just like you end up where you end up, and you kind of have to, like Michael Singer, one of the guys I really like, he wrote The Untethered Soul and Surrender Project. He's like, you know, life unfolds in front of you, and you take what it gives you as it unfolds. I think if you live the other way around, you'll never go anywhere because there'll be so many decisions, you'll never make any decision. But it is weird. It is weird leaving the home that we've lived in for 10 years, that I've renovated, put my heart and soul into, and lots of sweet memories in there. And it's an emotional roller coaster. And also moving towns is such a crazy thought, to be moving away from Vancouver, be running my business semi-long distance, starting a new community, getting to know people again, building new friendships at, you know, I'm 49, almost 50. And so it's definitely a mind job, more than, it's hard to put words to. So, you know, we've told ourselves if we don't get the price we want for our house, then we're not going to sell it. And I think that's good to hold to those kind of, you set your bar and hold to those things. Yeah. So I'm here, and I'm just going to start glassing down this valley, and hopefully we'll see some little horns poke up. And if we don't, then we have to try and enjoy the moment. enjoy being out in the wilderness. It's a trip. Life is a trip. When you stop and think about it. All right, I'm going to get back to work here. Oh, it's funny. Right when I finished recording that last little one, I put my phone down and there was a doe right in front of me. Well, probably about 80 yards away. But no buck yet. We need a buck. We need one with horns. I've heard that the bucks will send the does out ahead of them to make sure that the road is clear, which is crazy, how they know that the does aren't being hunted. So you can see the sun is just starting to peek over the valley. It's one of the best things about hunting that I find in the morning is you get to see sunrise. And I'm feeling pretty chilly right now, so when the sun warms you, it's like, whew, feels good. But it's encouraging to see a four-legged animal. I can tell you that much. My heart rate went up. What I was actually thinking was, how the heck am I going to, if it is a buck, where am I going to lie down? Because it's all kind of low stumps over here. And if you stand up, they see you, and then you run, then you're done. So it's difficult because you've got all this gear on, so every time you move, it makes such a noise. And then all the dry, everything's dry. So it snaps when you kneel on it, stand on it. And it's very hard to stay super stealth. Last night, I was hunting a different cut block, and I was there early, so I made a bit of a blind, made a little seating area and trees up around, so it was actually comfortable, and I made lots of areas to rest my gun in 3 or 4 different directions, so don't have that this time, but I'm encouraged anyway to see an animal down there. The chipmunks are so noisy, it's funny. Here comes the sun now. All right, back to glassing. Well, it's the last morning, Monday morning here. The smoke is crazy up here, you can see, from the forest fires. And pretty rad morning. I saw 8 does. And then I heard a thundering over in the forest, probably about 250 yards away. And there was an immature bull moose, which has horns on one side. It's like, wow, huge creature. And he kind of thundered off into the distance. And then I waited for probably 30 minutes. And then I heard it clattering in another part of the forest. And 2 deer came flying out of the forest. I'm like, what the heck? And then a junior moose with no horns came out, kind of chasing the deer, kind of weird, and went running across this cut block that I've been watching, and the deer kind of running away from it, and then he kind of wanders off. So it's been a bit of a wildlife morning. Pretty fun, even if you can't shoot anything, just to watch the wildlife do their thing, and also watch trucks drive by. One truck anyway drove by, and the deer were only 50 yards from the truck, but the truck didn't see them at all. So they're incredibly camouflage. It's amazing, actually. Because like, there's 2 deer right in front of me, about 100 yards away. And as soon as I take my binoculars off them, it takes me a while to find them again. They just blend in amazingly until they turn their butts to you, and then you see their white butt go up and down. But anyway, it's been a nice getaway. If nothing else, had some great times with some good people, and barely any cell phone service, which is fantastic, and seen lots of wildlife. So it's way better than not seeing anything at all, I can tell you that. So I'm going to finish up here, and we got to go pack up the camp and get out of here. It feels like the baby moose is making his way up towards me, so if he does, then hopefully I can get that on camera. These baby moose seem like they're a bit more feisty, so hopefully he doesn't run at me or something. But they don't have